Tell the world, when was the first time you saw television?
Hell, I was 10 years old, 11 years old.
And where were you at when you saw it?
Baton Rouge, Louisiana, North 17th Street, Olin's Hardware.
Okay.
They would turn the TV on at night and put it after the store closed, set it in the window. And us kids and adults would take chairs over there and ring around the sidewalk and watch the TV through the window.
And it was black and white, right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Okay, so I know that you're like an avid science fiction reader.
Yep.
When was the first time you began to hear about things like artificial intelligence in books?
I'm not going to say Arthur C. Clarke came up with it first, but he had some writing on it. It goes back into science fiction, like the bazooka goes back into the 20s before they ever made, 20 years before they even had a bazooka.
So about what year did you read about it? If you can.
They're back in the 50s and 60s.
Okay, well, today I'm going to expose you to legitimately some of the newest AI that's available to the public. And it's called CHAT GPT, okay?
Have you heard of it?
No, until she just mentioned it.
Okay, so what I want you to do, let me tell you a little bit about what this thing can do. This is artificial intelligence. It can help you write a book, write a paper. It can write you a poem, draw you a picture, put together social media content. What would you like to ask it? Because it has the whole world at its fingertips to look up any information that you'd like.
P.S. This is Dad's first time to see CHAT GPT.
That is almost scary.
It is scary.
It could be a good thing or it could be a catastrophe.
I know. So ask it a question.
What kind of question? I mean,
Well, it's your experience. So you tell me. What would you? I asked it all kind of crazy stuff. I won't lie.
give me a hint.
All right. Well, I asked it to tell me about itself and stuff like that.
That is scary.
I know. So you tell me. Okay, let's talk about plants. You like to plant.
Yeah.
So how about this? Because we know what USDA zone we are. We're 9B. So in zone 9B, what plants?
It's putting out pollen at this time of the year.
That's what
for
he
your
wants to
bees
know.
My
is
bees. I didn't think about it.
Putting
Well, you didn't even know about it.
out pollen.
Oh, you mean as a question? My bad.
Yeah, my bees
For
are carrying
bees.
pollen in like crazy, and I don't know where it's coming from.
Okay, in Louisiana in December. I mean January. Oop, I'm in the
Oops.
wrong month. All right, let's see what it has to say. Give it a second. If you see how much it's putting out, how fast it put it out.
Not fast enough I can read it.
All right, so hold on. It says camellias, winter blooming jasmine, mahonia or Oregon grape, rosemary, salvia, and these are just a few examples of plants that can provide pollen for bees in zone 9AB in January.
As far as I know, there's none in the neighborhood.
It's
And
got to
I
be
have-
somewhere.
I've cruised the neighborhood. I hadn't seen them.
All right, now we can ask it to go further. It now suggests questions that you should have asked it. One of which says, which plant in zone 9B Louisiana blooms in winter and provides a food source for bees with fragrant flowers? It goes on to tell you that answer. One plant in zone 9B Louisiana that blooms in winter and provides a food source for bees with its fragrance flower is winter blooming jasmine.
So when you asked the question, then it revised the question you should have asked and still gave you the answer.
That's
Think about
exactly
that.
right.
Yeah, that means you're smarter than I am. It scares the hell out of me.
Well, I think, yeah. So for someone that's 82, when you were born, where were you born at?
Biloxi, Mississippi, Back Bay. Do you have a?
But not in a hospital.
Oh no.
You were born in a house.
You ought to see my birth certificate. The midwife was uneducated, so she had my mother born in Biloxi, Alabama.
Which doesn't exist.
I was born in Mobile, Baton Rouge, or something. If I take my birth certificate to get a passport, they allowed to kick me out of America. I'm telling you, it's misspelled. None of it's correct.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't your last name different than your daddy and mama's?
You what?
Your last name.
Woods.
Yeah, but it was different.
What
than your parents.
was Pawpaw?
Papa was a Wood. They made a mistake on the birth certificate. The lady was very uneducated. You could tell the way she was writing and spelling on the birth certificate. So she put Woods instead of Wood.
And your mother couldn't catch it because she just had a baby, and your daddy didn't catch it because he couldn't read.
He couldn't read or write.
Correct.
All right, so in the military,
What year was this? 19?
this was 1941, December the 13th.
Okay.
It's hard to
You
believe.
said something
I
about
mean,
the military. I'm sorry, I distracted you.
No, but I mean, it's hard to believe back in the day. That, I mean, science fiction writers were predicting this. I mean, years and years before it ever come around to being reality. But we didn't have electricity. We didn't have phone.
You didn't have
We
running
didn't have
water.
running water. Didn't have indoor plumbing at all. We're sharecroppers up until 1947. And then we moved to Louisiana after the hurricane destroyed everything.
Right.
And that's where we came to Louisiana, 1947. But
So how does this make you feel, Dad, to know that at your fingertips is the world's encyclopedia of answers to pretty much any question you can ask it?
well, it's like anything else. If used correctly, it's a blessing to human being. But like the old science fiction writers did, some of them wrote books on how good it was going to be, and some wrote books on look out, duck.
Right. Well, would it surprise you if I told you that right now the creators of these AI programs are asking Congress to pass legislation to control the use of this AI? The potential of it is extremely dangerous.
I know it, Pumpkin, but asking Congress to pass a law don't mean nothing.
No, it doesn't.
They don't enforce the law, why pass it?
That's
Can you
exactly
ask?
right.
Excuse me. Can you ask it about the hurricane of 19? The one that took y'all away from Biloxi.
1947. It was not a name, it was a number.
The hurricane that took out Biloxi in the 1940s.
1947.
1947.
It'll pop it up there. Watch. Just that general bit of information. The hurricane that significantly impacted Biloxi in the 1940s was Hurricane Camille.
No, it was not a name hurricane, it was a number. They just
It's
started
1947.
naming it after
All right, so that says that was in 1940. All right.
Well, Camille.
The hurricane in 1947 that wiped out Biloxi, Mississippi.
We were stranded for 3 days.
Hold on.
The Air Force finally got to us in amphibious vehicles and got us in it and got us out. We lost everything.
Listen how smart it is. I'm very sorry about that, Daddy. I didn't mean to interrupt. It says, I apologize for the confusion earlier. There was indeed a significant hurricane that affected Biloxi, Mississippi in 1947. This hurricane, known as the Great Biloxi Hurricane,
It was tough.
struck the area on September 20th, 1947. It was a Category 4 hurricane with winds up to 140 miles per hour. The storm surges caused extensive flooding and destruction in Biloxi and the surrounding areas. Many buildings were damaged, destroyed, and there were numerous casualties. The Great Biloxi Hurricane remains one of the most destructive hurricanes to have ever hit the Gulf Coast region.
We had 2 trees down on the house, no roof. We was up on a bed in the house, all 6 of us.
6 siblings.
Well, Mama, Daddy, Grandpa, and well, 7 of us, 7 of us. 4 kids and the rest of them. The yard was full of dead cows, horses, snakes, pigs, and everything. They're dead. They're just floating. I mean, it was bad. We couldn't get out. We lost everything. The only reason we survived, and Daddy had his back hurt. He was in a brace. And he said, boys, if we survive this, we gone. After the Air Force finally got us out. Took them 3 days to get to us and get us out. The sheriff in Biloxi, called Hammond, Louisiana, they went and got Grandpa Creedy. He took an axe and chopped his Dodge car in half and put a piece of plywood on the back and made a truck. He came all the way to Biloxi.
And these were dirt roads back then.
It took him 2 days to get there because there was destruction halfway from here to Biloxi.
Right.
Took him 2 days to get there. He put all of us up on the back of that truck. We had nothing except the clothes we had on.
Yeah.
And we come to Louisiana. And Daddy said, son, I'll never ride on nothing. And if they even predicted a hurricane, Daddy headed north.
Oh, I can't
Well,
blame him.
did y'all come back on the interstate?
You what?
Were y'all on the interstate coming back to Louisiana?
Interstate. We was on dirt roads, mud.
They didn't have
We was
interstates.
actually passing through cornfields. You could reach out and shuck the corn
Oh,
off.
that's epic.
I'm serious.
No, I believe it's
I'm
epic.
dead
Amazing.
serious.
No, I wouldn't want to experience it. That's why I was holding your hand, because it just about brings me to tears. It does bring me to tears to
Oh,
think
it
what
was
y'all
bad.
went through.
Oh, it was bad.
Y'all are blessed to survive.
Oh yeah. I mean, man, look.
Didn't the water come in your house?
Yeah, that's what
It
he
was
said.
up
They were
on the
floating
bed
on
with
the
us.
bed.
We was up on the bed, and water was up on us on the bed. And like I said, there was snakes and stuff everywhere.
Red ants would probably have been terrible. I can't, and the mosquitoes at that time of year.
Or
I
talking
can't.
about mosquitoes before the hurricane. I mean, anywhere, the mosquitoes on that Gulf Coast were so bad. Now, I'm not joking. We would build a little shotgun house we was in. Excuse me. We would build a smoke fire, smudge, and let the smoke blow through the house.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
The cows would actually walk up and get in the smoke,
Yeah.
trying to get away from the mosquitoes. I mean, it was bad.
It was. So, how does it make you feel that this AI program corrected itself just like that and brought back all those memories to you? Do you think that this could revolutionize the world,
Yeah.
especially for information?
Good, ugly, good, bad, or ugly. It's going to change the world.
I agree, Dad.
They might as well just get ready for it.
I agree.
I think the fact that when you said Camille, I was doubting this thing, right?
Right.
Because I haven't used it either, just at one time. And I'm doubting the thing because you said Camille of 1940, and I'm thinking, I know that's not right because my dad
Yeah.
says 1947 was an unnamed one. And then when you corrected it, when it corrected itself, that's pretty,
It's scary.
that's
It is
it's
scary.
scary. The
It
fact
is.
that it even apologized.
So I had sent Daddy. I texted him the poem that this thing created for our Food for Thought campaign in 4 seconds, adding in my Starkey Farmstead name. When I sent it to him, he calls me. He says, "I want this program." I
Right.
said, "Well, before you get it, let's videotape for the world your reaction to it because he's 82 and look at how the world has changed for him
Right.
in 82 years."
And the crazy thing is, you've always loved science fiction. So every time something comes along, like this watch that I'm wearing on my wrist, you would say, "Oh yeah, I read about that when I was a kid."
Oh, yeah.
So he's read about these things,
Yeah,
but
so
now
he's waiting for
Yeah.
them. Like it's like Christmas to somebody with that type of brain.
Yeah.
He has waited knowing that that problem would be solved, that technology would be created.
Look, I keep picking on Arthur C. Clarke, but he was given a lecture in the 40s in New York City about science fiction. During the lecture, the FBI run in and grabbed him and drug him out.
Wow.
And he said, "What's going on?" They said, "You give away top secret information. Where'd you get it?" He said, "What do you mean? I'm just talking about an atomic bomb."
Oh my gosh.
And they
y'all.
said, "Yeah, but that's top secret." He said, "Hell, I'm the one that brought it up. I wrote the book on it."
Right?
I mean, so science fiction is fiction only until it's proven correct. The
Oh, wow.
theory is right.
Wow.
That's why it's fiction.
You have told us our entire lives that if we could think it,
You can build it.
we could build it. We could do it. And you've always told me, Pumpkin, if yes is the answer that you need, then no is not acceptable.
That's right.
Therefore, find another way to do it.
That's right.
We're very blessed to have a dad with that type of brain.
I mean, the bottom line is, the only reason we're not going to another universe or galaxy, we know how to do it. We just
Right.
don't have the technology to build the tools to get us there yet.
Yet.
But it's
I
coming.
love that.
It's coming. So
I would
mean,
love to see him and Elon Musk sit down. Elon Musk, you really need to meet my dad.
Our dad.
Our dad. Sorry. Our dad.
But
What would you talk to Elon Musk about?
I would enjoy talking to him. Not about money and how he made it and all that.
Oh,
other
no,
stuff.
never crossed
Just
my
man
mind.
to man, just sit down and talk to him.
Science fiction.
Because he thinks kind of like I do.
That's
In other words, he figures if it can be done, let's do it.
I love it.
And if it takes them 2 months to do it, we can do it in a week. In other words, these people get upset. But bottom line, people, in business, production, is what counts. BS is for barrooms, not the job site.
Very good.
And that's
And he surrounds himself with people that
That's
believe
right.
that as well.
And it's Trump's the same way. If you can't do it, I will find somebody that
That's
can.
right.
So let's get it going. you
Okay.
know?
So is Senator Kennedy. If any of you have never seen Louisiana's great Senator Kennedy, when he's like asking people about jobs, you know how the Senate committees, he'll say, "Look, if you don't know the answer, just go on and tell me." I mean, just cuts right. Don't keep beating around the bush.
Do you plan on purchasing this?
The
Yes.
Chat GPT.
Yeah. I'll tell you.
Go
another-
ahead.
I'll tell you another quick one. I learned years ago. When you go in a business meeting, like in the plants when they were shut down, they losing $3, 4, 5, $10 million a day. Depends on what type plant and what material they running. When you go into those meetings in the morning, they don't want to hear, yeah, I went out yesterday and yeah, and all, all they want to know is where we at, how long, can you do this, give me a time limit. And I would just say, take me first, I'd give them a shot and I'd get up and leave. Finally, it got to the point where they called me to the office and said, give me a rundown. Otherwise, I'd go in, give them the answer, and get out. I wasn't trying to BS them. They didn't have time for it.
Right. And you would get the jobs and get them done.
That's right. That's business, people.
Yeah.
Now, Dad, when you use the Chat GPT, what are you going to use it for?
I'm going to use it to help me study YouTube.
I think that's great because right here, when we download this program for my dad, when you download it right here, it's got social. And it literally says on here, create an engaging post. So you can click it and it says, craft a tweet about global warming. It's just giving you an idea.
Yeah.
And it says global warming is not just an environmental issue, it's a global crisis that demands immediate action. And then it even gives you hashtags.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
if you're building a YouTube channel for someone your age, this could be a tool that will give you an edge to all these people that have been born into the era of social media.
And don't think they need that kind of advice.
Exactly. So we're going to give you an edge today.
All right.
I need all the edges I can get. I don't know how much longer I'll be able to shorten the edges. All right, like and subscribe. Pawpaw Sammy and Alibud.
We love you, Dad. We love you.
We love you, Dad.
Including everyone. Bye.